Hello there and welcome to a short game review of Bard's Tale 4 The Barrow's Deep. My name is Icon and I want to go with you through the basics of this game, what it's about, how it's going to play it, and what's its pros and what's its cons. So I certainly felt that while this game was released a few days ago, the people were expecting a lot. This game is on a lot of pressure on its release. It's the official sequel to the highly famed Bard's Tale series, and people were expecting a lot. Bard's Tale was one of the most famous RPG series back in the 80s, and well, that's 30 years apart. Now we have a new game, and In Exile are doing a great job, in my humble opinion. Although the game has got a lot of bad opinions out there, and well, partly I understand it, but well, I want to bring out my own opinion. So let's get started. I am running a advanced gameplay status here. I already have a party of 4 people. This is my fighter Dalgleish, this is my rogue, my mage, and my bard. So these guys are doing the adventures here, and as you can see, we're running this in an Unreal 4 engine. This is looking really good. Although the FPS are quite bad, even though for people who have better setups than mine. So here still is a lot of optimization to do. A lot of people keep saying that, and I agree totally on that. But hey, this game is freshly released, and so far I think this is pure eye candy. What I've heard a lot about is people are claiming that this game is not true to its spiritual predecessors. That a lot of stuff got changed and is not good and everything like that. I really disagree on that, and quite strongly. The producers here did a lot of work to grab the feeling of the old games and be true to the original as hard as they can. If you look at this place here, it's called Barrow Below, and if we look at this card, many people won't notice it. But I played the original series back then. Well, not that back then. I was a little boy there. But what I want to say, this map reflects 100% the Scarborough of Bard's Tale 1, Tales of the Unknown. This is exactly the same map, but well, as a rundown place beneath the new Scarborough, which is a harbor city, which many people didn't like as a fact, but hey, the old city is still here, and it's done in a masterful way. This is the Grand Plaza of the old game. This is basically where the Adventurers Guild is. It was there back then too. And there's Roscoe's shop. It was back there too. Here's Kyloren's tower. It's everything made in a very good way, and they did a lot of work to actually grab up as much spirit of the past as they can. Yes, there are a few lines of plot which got changed a little, but I always felt like it was for the sake of closing gaps. Because back then in the 80s, the storytelling wasn't as dense as nowadays. So I feel very well done. The atmosphere of this game is really there. And there's really good music, really good voice acting everywhere. The NPCs feel quite realistic and alive. And they are also well done in every aspect, and if we look at that, they look pretty beautiful as well, and yeah. So that part is really good done, really well done. So let's get a look at the characters here. So the character screen is pretty basic. A lot of people didn't like that, but again, I have to say, the original Bard's Tale series was pretty basic too. So we have strength as an indicator for how much damage we do, armor class as a flat indicator how much damage is shaved down when you get hit, spell points are only interesting for people using them, intelligence determines how hard we get interrupted while channeling abilities. So we have some funky passive abilities, stuff like that, real fun, and yeah, it's simple, but you can play around it. I actually have a lot of fun with it so far. I mean, I'm only down a few hours in this game so far. I can't tell how this works out in the later game, so this is only a first glance on things, but I feel like there's a system, I can work with it, and I don't dislike it too much. So this brings me to the next point. Here's the skill tree. So every character has, depending on his base class, a different skill tree. There are only 4 base classes: the fighter, the rogue, the practitioner of magical arts, and the bard, which is everyone in its own way feels pretty unique. The bards use magic spells in combats and use alcohol as a means of getting spell points, and they need to be careful not to getting too drunk in combat, which is a fun technique. I like it. Rogues have have a lot of different tools at their disposal too, and it's always divided into attack, defense, something special for every class. For the fighter sits the command tree, for the rogue sits the subterfuge. The practitioners actually got meditation and blade casting, which is kind of like a melee path for spellcasters, also pretty fun. And yeah, music for the bards. And there's also a crafting thingy for every character going on, which is pretty basic and actually quite the same for everybody except for the bards, which can as well brew alcohol, so that's quite fun. Your party can grow to up to 6 persons. You start out with only 2 persons, and along the story it gets more and more, which is something which got criticized a lot by the people, but I am okay with that. It feels like an evolving story. And let's get back to the skill tree. With this, you can actually build your character quite specialized. You can pick into different branches. You can go for armor specializations, you can go for combat specializations, and at the end of the day, all the skills you learn land in this mastery book, where you've got 4 slots where you can equip the stuff you learn. So it's basically quite simple, yet deep to apply, in my opinion. I'm pretty okay with that. I've heard people muttering about the spellcasting got slimmed down a lot. The original Bard's Tale series had a lot more spells than this one. I agree with that. I'm a bit sad about that. It feels a bit too streamlined. I agree on that. But on the other hand, when I played the old Bard's Tale parts, if I'm totally honest, I only used 10 or 15 spells from 100 or more. So it's not always good to have a huge bunch of stuff going on when you never use it, so I don't know. I have to give this a closer look in the future though, because right now I'm quite in the starting spot. These guys are level 9, okay, this is not complete beginner territory anymore, but I really need to dip into the late game until I can give a real opinion here. I don't want to give anything I don't want to say anything I can't say yet. So let's go for the next thing, the equipment system. Basically every piece of equipment can give you some of the base stats. Oh, I forgot Constitution there, that's your max HP. Nothing too special. And every equipment piece can have some secondary effects, like this dagger gives you the ability to move when you use a special attack. This thingy has no special attack. This makes a skill here cheaper to use. This stuff has always some specialization bonus, which I really like. What I don't like as much is right now how bugged the inventory system is. So more often than not, the inventory shuts completely down with an item on your cursor, which is a severe bug. You need to escape the complete inventory screen to fix that. If I put my crafting stuff here on the last page and loot stuff from the ground, it doesn't auto-sort it into these stacks I did there. Quite some annoying little things, but I have to say this game is out for a few days. I am absolutely positive that the developers will know that these issues exist, and I hope they will get addressed to these. Right now, inventory management is a pain. A real pain, I admit that. I don't like it at all, but I feel like this is a fixable problem. I hope they'll fix it. If this doesn't get fixed, it's really annoying, but okay. Let's look quickly into the crafting. This is really nothing too special. You have these materials, you can craft stuff out of that. You have crafting components, you have food to heal your party with, you have potions you can use in combat, you can craft alcohol for the bards, adventuring tools, yada yada yada. You grab up recipes on the way, nothing too innovative here. There's a crafting system because nowadays games seem to have crafting systems. I'm not too impressed by the work they did there, but I'm not too disappointed either. It's okay. It feels completely okay. We have different writers for lore items, which is really nice, so I can pick up the books I have here and reread them. Really good. And for the last thing about the inventory, I want to talk about puzzle weapons here. Puzzle weapons are weapons of elven origin. By the way, every item you find can be inspected in this manner, which is really fun. And these weapons have solvable puzzles on them, which actually upgrade the item when you have finished the puzzle. This is actually innovative and fun, and I like this feature. I like it a lot. What I don't like is that there are bugs here as well. I've completed this puzzle I showed you guys already 3 times, and somehow it doesn't get saved. These are issues which really need to be addressed. So this game surely has some little sicknesses here. So overall, I can live with these. I hope these problems get addressed. They make the gaming experience a little ugh, but only a little. So far, I've enjoyed my time a lot. What I don't enjoy at all, which I really think which needs to be addressed at some point, is how huge the legend here is and how little I can scroll out. This is really the best thing I can do. And look at how big this map is. And this is one of the smaller maps. There are bigger maps. So I feel like, please, give me some more clarity about that. I don't like that at all. We have here the quest menu, which is really straightforward, nothing too special. Yeah, let's proceed. So, next thing are the saving stones. This is one feature I truly despise about this game. This is the only thing where I can save. So, whenever I leave the game, it will pick up at the spot where I left. But if I die after doing some exploration, I will return to this stone and I will have to do all the exploration again, and it sucks. It's really no fun to do all the stuff again you just did 10 minutes before and spend 10 minutes again to do exactly the same stuff to have the same fight again. I don't like this mechanic of saving at all, because this game has a lot of combats which actually are out to kill you. So right now, what I'm doing is whenever I finish a dangerous combat, I run back to a stone and save. And it's quite uncomfortable. So here we have some dialogues between the party members.
Uglified and shrunk and cast out.
It's a wonder you don't hold a grudge.
I'll let the people talk here.
Being angry makes me tired.
So I really like these features because they make the game a lot more alive. These are pre-scripted characters, only my mage is self-made, but she also has a pre-scripted set of character which makes her interact with the other persons around her. So right now I have a quest which I will follow a little to show you guys the combat system for a moment, and that's where I will wrap up this quick review at that point, because at this point you've seen the most important things of the game already. So we're here proceeding. There are some save totems here. You can also consume these totems to gain experience, which is an interesting mechanic, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. Is kind of like, for me, the biggest con about the game is the saving system. The rest, I can really live with that and feel like these are problems which can simply be flattened out, but the saving system is just a pain in the ass. I can't put it differently. It just feels like a saving system out of a console game dropped into a PC RPG, and it feels off. I can't put it differently than it feels off. Maybe it's just me, but I have my opinion. This review is colored by my opinion, and that's why I'm making this review. So here we go. here's our first fight.
Let us show these villains
We can
the
see how
folly
strong
of
these
their
guys
ways.
are. They get green outlined, yellow or red, compared to your own party. And you need to get closer until you get this funny option to charge, and then you get the first action. If they see you first, they get the first action. Quite fun, actually. So I do like that. So here we are. This is a grid system where these people are standing. We have our party members which can act. These are opportunity points which act like action points, and they are spread for the party. Not everybody has the 4. Not every person has 4 points. The whole party has 4 points. So every action down here uses, as you can see, a little bit of the opportunity. And there are also skills which help you regain opportunity, like this guy. Whenever he kills a person in a turn, you regain some opportunity. And there are mages which use spell points, which don't go into the opportunity pool. So they are basically like free actions. Spellcasting feels like free actions. You have these people here. And yeah, let's get going. So I want to start frying down one of the weaker guys. I like to focus into one enemy here. So we're gonna kill the Goblin Shaman first. I'm gonna let my Bard drink a little here. And I'm gonna give him some elven wine to make him really drunk.
The elixir of life.
Because the really fun part about this game so far is, like, look at this song. It has an extra effect when he has reached a certain drunkenness threshold, which is really fun. So this spell, this song, let's give some revenge when people get smacked, which is pretty fun. And let's go for a Storm of Blades, smack down this guy a little.
What should I do?
And I'm gonna use this. This is a stance which lets him deal more damage during the next few turns. And I'm gonna meditate to recover more spell points for the next turn. And now the enemies take their turn. So basically this is a back and forth combat system. So this guy summons some dudes. That's okay for me. And as you can see, they are using their opportunity points as well. There we go. So as you can notice here, there was a pause where nothing happened, and in my opinion this is bugged as well. These pauses happen a lot right now, and they give you empty waiting time during combats, and that sucks a little. So this guy is channeling a meditation spell, and I can interrupt this by dealing mental damage to him. If I don't, he will pull this action through, and I don't want to have that actually. So that's another funny aspect here of the combat system, that it works with interrupts and stuff like that. I really do like that. It gives it a little bit of complexity while not being over complex. Every skill has some area where it works or not. So while it looks a bit complicated at first glance, I feel like it's very self-explanatory. And it's easy to pick up, and, well, is it difficult to master? I don't think so, to be quite honest. It doesn't feel difficult at any stage. It feels like you understand it better along the way. And that's something I really like, to be quite honest. So let's kill off some of these. And I use this, regain some energy, and I'm gonna use the rain of arrows here on this guy. And end my turn. So I can move my characters across the turn as well, if I need to. Which is quite fun, so this guy is going for a big meditation. Let's try to disrupt him again.
Ready? Ready? I suppose.
Aye.
But Turns out I can't really interrupt him. That's a little bit bad. But that's okay, I guess. So I want to kill off the small guy back there, but he has a lot of armor. This 8 behind the 8 in the shield means that he will cut down 8 points of damage from every single source, which is really annoying. So let's do the spell song to give my mage some new spell points.
Ready.
And I feel like I can't do anything about this guy channeling there. So I'm gonna start killing goblins again. Throw some caltrops. There are a lot of different interesting effects in this game, which I really like. This is like a lot more complex than the original game at that point, but in a way I really like, I have to say. The combat in this game is actually quite fun. I read a lot of different opinions about the fight. A lot of people said that they felt like the combat is boring or stuff like that. I don't feel like this is boring at all. I enjoy the fighting in this game a lot. If there weren't the saving issues there. So we're grinding through these people here, obviously, little by little, killing off one after the other. So let's get this guy. Repeat the stance. And there we go. One more down. And this guy keeps summoning them goblins. Quite annoying, Nate. So I guess I should have removed the summoner earlier. That was a misplay from my side, I suppose. But that doesn't matter too much. This fight is basically for demonstration issues here, so... Let's knock him out of the meditation stance here. And everything about this game is really, really well... The music in this game is very well made. This is something I really noticed across the board, how well made the music in this game is. It's a real joy to listen to this game, actually. And that's something I value a lot. So I'm gonna let her meditate here. And taunt this guy into my face.
Ancestor, give me strength.
Out of my way, fool.
So basically I'm just fiddling around here, and I feel like I'm not playing optimally here, because there are a lot of things I feel like I can't pick up about this game, about the fighting in general. And that's something I really like. I like it when the game gives me the feeling that I'm bad at fighting right now because I didn't understand the system well enough yet. And that's something I really enjoy when I get to that point. This gives me the hint of depth I really like. Although I've read from people that they felt like this game had no depth at all, in their opinion. So, I don't know. Opinions differ. This is my opinion. And considering how big the skill tree is, considering that you only have 4 slots available to build your action bar, you can specialize every character quite intensely. Which is something I enjoy. I like specialized builds. So, yeah. We're almost winning here, so let's shoot down this guy. We'll send him exploding. And every summon here gives experience too, which is really fun. That means summoners are not only prolonging the fight, but they also give you something back. So here we are, we won the fight, there's the loot back to obtain. And like I said, here the rotted food I would pick up would get into the front page and not in the stack back, which is really bad. Something I don't like. But apart from that, these combats are all scripted, and here's the inventory bug. I click the dust and have the cap on my cursor. I can't do anything at all until it decides to snap out. Sometimes you just need to fiddle around and escape the thing completely. So there we go. This is a first glance about the game. The story is very well written and something I can't show off here, but I'm gonna do a complete playthrough series across the board. I just wanted to do a quick review because I feel like this game certainly deserves positive attention because it's made with a lot of love. That's something I can say for sure. Yes, it has some severe bugs, but I'm sure they'll get flattened out across the board. So thanks for your time, and I hope my video helped you to give you some idea about this game, whether you should buy it or not, or if you want to look at it, look at some playthroughs or stuff like that. See you guys soon. Bye bye.